Hello everyone and welcome to another Let's Play. Today I have for you an indie title. This game is called Them and Us. This is a game heavily inspired by the classic fixed camera angle style Resident Evil games, in particular Resident Evil Remake. You will notice very quickly that this game desperately wants to be remake. This is only the second indie game I can think of I've LP'd, the other being Hellblade, which I'm reasonably sure is an indie title, but I'm not 100% on that one. So who knows, this might be my first indie game to LP. Either way, we're doing it. I will be going with the easier difficulty because of certain gameplay benefits like infinite saves and additional inventory slots at the start of the game. I'll talk more about that as we get into it. Here's something else pretty cool. You can choose between a fixed camera angle style, much like the classic Resident Evil games, or you can pick an over-the-shoulder view, much like RE4, 5, and 6.
My name is Alicia Wallace. For the last 9 years of my life, I've been locked up for something that shouldn't have happened. 9 years of waking nightmares, drug cocktails, and steadily diminishing sanity in that damned mental ward have reduced my reality to that of a hellish fever dream. I fight to hold on to what little fragments of my past life I still have inside my head. Those crucial bits that haven't been eroded by experimental sedatives designed to cure me. I remember I used to be a medic, that I used to heal people. Yet I couldn't heal the most important person in my world, my daughter, who's afflicted with a disease incurable by any doctor, whose fate I intend to uncover. My own fate has placed me squarely on the path to finding her, thanks to an arranged prison transfer and a macabre twist of fate that has all led to this moment. My name is Alicia Wallace, and I will find out what happened to my daughter at any cost. No more running. No more being controlled.
So after that severe crash, it looks like a lot of people were affected. It would be nice to look around for some survivors. However, Alicia is pretty hurt herself, so all she can really do is hobble along, and hopefully we will find some survivors. There are a lot of wrecked vehicles here, so somebody's got to be alive. I really like the sound work in this game. I'll probably say that a lot throughout this LP. But I'm really enjoying that creepy sound going on right now. You can tell this is an indie game. They had to use a stylized way of telling their story because they either can't afford or can't make cutscenes. Unfortunate, but what are you gonna do?
What is this place? Was I dreaming?
Or maybe this is the dream. Alicia's voice actress isn't half bad so far. I approve. She's not top tier talent or anything, but good enough. And it's nice to see an indie game with voice acting. So you can tell we won't be getting any actual cutscenes in this game, just those stylized images. At least that's my assumption. I haven't got that far into the game. I've only played a little bit past what you're seeing on this video, and that was just streaming with a friend on Discord. However, we are starting an unfortunate trope of indie games. The character waking up in an area, not knowing where they are nor how they got there. Hopefully this will be handled better in this game, but it is a trope. That is a piece of a screwdriver. You can imagine we will have to find the other part to that screwdriver in order to use it. And there's a knife, our first weapon. It has another use that I'll show off in a bit. This is our first healing item. I will show off all of these items and their descriptions in the menu. I mentioned the inventory system. When this game first released, you only had 2 inventory slots at the start of the game. The developer did an update so that on normal and easy, you start off with 4 slots instead. We will be increasing our inventory in this video. But you can see right here how only having 2 inventory slots at the start of the game would make this beginning section a lot more tedious than it needs to be. This would be really irritating otherwise. And here is a group of costumes that we can choose from. A few of these were DLC created sometime after the game's release, I think to appeal to certain Asian audiences. I'm not 100% on that. At the very least, they're Asian inspired. So I'm going to show those off, as well as a DLC package you can buy. My friend, the games librarian, bought this game for me and that DLC package.
My brain is literally melting.
So I can show that off. And then there are a few outfits you have to unlock. Hopefully I can unlock them all by beating the game, but I think you have to get different endings to unlock them. So if that's the case, I won't be able to show them off. Unless I can download a save file with them on there. But I'm not going to do that until I finish the game. You'll probably know by the time this video posts if I decide to do this, but I'm thinking of posting a video of just this section so that people can vote on the outfits. This is the first of the DLC pack that you can buy. Clear Resident Evil inspired. Star's outfit. Most of her outfits are shorts with a tank top. Which, oddly enough, my favorite outfit is not one of those. There's a silly maid's outfit. What is it with these indie games and maid's outfits? Tormented Souls has one too. I do plan on doing that game this year as well, but we will see if that happens. Sexy nurse outfit. Interesting they changed her hair color for that. Kind of has a Lisa Garland vibe from Origins, although I don't count that as a Silent Hill game. I'm not really a big fan of the stylized cutscenes. We got a sexy cop outfit. Always interesting. I kind of get it if they don't have another option. Those are the unlockable ones. I might try to find some photos of those to post so I can show them off. Maybe I'll do that at the end of this video. I don't know yet. And here's a more modest outfit. I like it. I like the 3 default outfits. And this should be my favorite. I know with me, the way I perv over game girls, this is probably a surprise that that's my favorite, but I don't know why I like that one. I just do. And this is the default outfit. This is the outfit most people go with. And it's the outfit I'm going to start this LP with. I will be able to come back here if I want to change outfits after this video. So I can do that if I want to. Oh yeah, the knife is not just a weapon, it's also a tool. Which is interesting. I kind of like that. It's pretty cool. And there is the other part to the screwdriver. You can see how annoying this would be with only 2 inventory slots. And let's face it, Alicia has 3 slots I'm interested in. Oh yeah. So now we got a screwdriver. Let's go ahead and use it. If you're not familiar with my channel, I am blind, visually impaired, whatever you want to call it. Equip that knife and let's get to walking. I do really like this soundtrack. It's not as distinct as something like Resident Evil or Silent Hill, but it's still got some good ambience. That is a record. That is our save item. The screwdriver gave me an idea when I was playing this. I thought to myself, you know, it would be cool if in addition to your normal inventory, which houses your guns, key items, ammo, save items, it would be cool if you had a toolbox. And in that toolbox, you keep items like a screwdriver, which you would think she would not throw away because that could be useful later. And you would put in there screwdrivers, wrenches, anything that might be useful. I really like this theme. And I'm looking for a file. This file is from a dude who arrived at the estate with several other people. It looks like they were summoned there by somebody that they call a master. This person notices how old the front doors look and how brittle the wood looks, as well as some odd indentations. This person worries about security, but the master assures them that the doors are quite secure and explains to this person the system to open and shut them, and it's apparently very confusing and involves an enchanted crystal. Yeah, it's a really nice piece of music. Unfortunately, we aren't going to hear it very much. That is a handgun clip. Yes, we will be getting a gun at some point, but not this video. I have streamed a little bit of this over Discord with a friend, and I was able to get a little further than this recording, but not by much. And we will pick up the handgun in another Nod 2 remake. And this game has the Resident Evil 0 inventory system where you pick up an item and you can drop it. I wonder if that's going to be important later. So that's an interesting feature to take from the Resident Evil series. I do like the idea of being able to drop items. It's just, I would prefer an item box. And you can tell I've already played this game a little bit. Let's go ahead and save that game. I'm not going to show me saving any other time during this LP, but I wanted to show it once. And as you can see, every time you put a record on, that plays a different tune, which is kind of cool. It does mean we don't get to hear that nice save room theme, and this game is picky about item placement. Bit irritating, but oh well. So it's unfortunate about the save room music because I do really like it, but that is cool that every time you put a record on, it plays the record. I hear something gribbly. Let's go ahead and see what's the what. Oh, hey, look, it's another nod to Resident Evil. We will be seeing many of those throughout this LP. I know, Alicia, it's pretty bad. Run, Alicia, run! You might be saying, well, why aren't you fighting the zombie? Don't you need something over there? Why, yes, we do. And if you explore the downstairs, you can get a clue as to what item you need to pick up. Since I've played this intro section to this game so many times, I already know what to do, so I'm not going to waste time showing stuff like that off. I have a very specific strat for dealing with this zombie and any other that I can lure into this situation. And it takes a while to get this dude over here. That's the hardest part about the strategy, is luring this zombie over here. But as soon as he shows up, you can already see what I'm going to do. He can't grab you on the stairs. And he does have a vomit attack, but that will miss you on the stairs. So if you get below a zombie, they're easy to kill with a knife, which saves ammo. I know of at least one more zombie I'm going to utilize that strategy on. I'm sure that's not intended, but I like that you can do that. And I haven't seen any playthroughs on YouTube of this game utilize that strat, so I definitely want to show that off. So let's get this item. It is the lighter. It looks very much like the lighters in Resident Evil, which is pretty cool. And that's another item you would think you would hang on to. Actually, she doesn't discard it, so it probably will be useful in the future. And I did go to save, since I pulled that off without getting hurt. Those records are a one-time use in the original version of this game and on hard mode. But one of the updates for this game made the records multi-use, so you have infinite saves on normal and easy mode. I passed by an item around here that I will eventually come back for, so you'll get to see that later. And this is the hint. You can see there the game showing you that we need to use a lighter on that. And eventually I'm going to go ahead and do that. I was trying to mentally prepare myself because I was hoping to deal with what's coming without taking any damage, and that did not happen, unfortunately. And I wasn't in the right spot. Likely I will be cutting that in the future as well, anytime I'm not on the right pixel. There is a med kit and another healing item in here. So the game is trying to give you plenty of healing items early. And are you ready for another nod to Resident Evil? I have not figured out a good way to avoid damage from this guy. I think I do a little better here than I normally do. Normally he grabs Alicia at least once, but this time he just seemed to vomit on her, which is still gross, but better than being bitten. but he's down. These first few zombies go down pretty quickly to the knife. That'll change once I pick up the gun. They get a bit tougher at that point. And there's a key that we're going to need, which necessitates leaving items in there. And you can imagine zombies are going to spawn in here. You can already hear banging at a window. And this guy actually fight pretty well. I was actually drunk while playing this section. But as I mentioned before, I am blind, so I don't think the gameplay would have been any different. I know you're not done for. I wish they made a distinct sound when they died. I actually don't know if these are zombies or not. Zombies are reanimated corpses, so I don't know if these things were alive before becoming zombies, so that would make them infected, or if they were actually dead and then became zombies. You can't be a zombie if you don't die first. And I'm going to show off the use of that item I just picked up. It is a healing item that you can combine with other healing items. I assume to make something better, but I have not researched that at this point. But I will show that off. And as you can see, you come back in here and the record is still playing, which is pretty dang cool. So you get that. I don't know if that's better. I assume it's better. Either way, we're rolling with it for now. But you can already see without an item box, this inventory is going to get pretty cumbersome. That was one of the aspects of Resident Evil 0 that I did not like, was leaving items all over the place. It was a little better in that game because I know it well enough that I could plan where I wanted to leave items, but I don't know this game very well past this point. And here's another of my favorite pieces of music in the game so far. I do get tripped up on some of these camera angles. I feel like they were better designed in Resident Evil. And here's where we increase our inventory. So you would go from 2 item slots in the original or on hard mode to 6, which is nice. In addition to the inventory upgrade, we also get a doorknob. Apparently somebody's running around here knocking off doorknobs. Seems like an odd way to spend one's time. Either way, push this. This will be useful later. It will also lead to another reference to Resident Evil 1. But now that that's out of the way, we can move on. Don't mind me, I'm just enjoying the music. Good times. It is unfortunate my vacation from work has ended. That ended about 2 weeks ago, which is very sad. It's always tough getting back to work after being off for a while. I think that's the next door we gotta open. Either way, we are in the save room now. So you know what that means. It's saving time. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see y'all next time with more Them and Us.